It's been so hard to pick up the camera or pick up a pen or just do anything, basically. It's been so hard to be creative because it's so hard to be creative from a place of pain and a strong sense of hopelessness. And I think part of being an artist in whatever form, part of being creative in whatever form is finding hope, even when there is no hope, and writing about it or painting about it or making a video about it. And it's just not how I've been feeling. So I've been having an identity crisis, and I struggled with picking this camera up today. But I thought, you know what? I'm picking the camera up today, which seems to be, this has been the theme where I don't want to pick the camera up. I don't want to do anything. And then I do. And I just make it as raw and vulnerable as humanly possible. In last week's video, I spoke about what's going on in the world right now. And I was begging for you to do something, for me to do something, for everyone to do something, even if that something is just to raise our voices, raise awareness, share the truth on social media, do whatever we can. But then I looked through a few podcast episodes, like just a few old podcast episodes that I had created a while ago. And one was about loving your fate, the concept of Amor Fati, or however you pronounce it. It's this stoic idea of learning to love your fate no matter what it looks like, no matter how your fate unfolds. And I loved this concept when I first created this podcast episode about loving your fate. I was in love with the concept of being open to the idea of it is what it is, and understanding the humility in that, the humility that comes with accepting that your life is going to unfold however it's supposed to unfold. There was something very poetic and beautiful about that, something very humbling about remembering that we are but human beings. We are but frail, mere human beings, and we don't really have as much control over the way our lives unfold as we think we do. And I still really love this concept, but I think it's only a concept that the privileged people can learn to understand or can adapt into their own everyday language and way of living. Because I take the people who are currently undergoing a genocide, who are watching their loved ones be bombed, who are afraid that they themselves will be bombed, who are watching their homes be demolished. And how can I tell them to love their fate? How can I even introduce this concept to them? It's a very, very privileged saying, Amor Fati. But I am privileged, I am recording this from the safety of a safe home. I have been given the means by which to speak and to create. And even though my heart is absolutely broken at the goings on of the world, and even though that's the only thing I can currently think about, I still come and I speak from a place of privilege. And chances are, if you're watching this, you're also watching this from a place of privilege. And I was just wondering how we can be kinder, how our language can be kinder to those who are suffering. And we can take it even to those who are privileged who are suffering. Let's say someone who lost a loved one, or someone who is experiencing the true meaning of the fragility of their lives and what that looks like. And I think the comfort is in knowing that we are all the same. That we, at the end of the day, are made of the same stuff. We face the absurdity of this life in all the ways that oftentimes it makes absolutely no sense. We are all the same. And I'm letting that drive my thinking as I am considering how to show up here, how to show up in my life, just as a person just like everyone. I am made of the same stuff that criminals and terrorists are made of, and that puts things into perspective. Lest I think that I can speak from a place of pride or a place of self-righteousness, I'm made of the same stuff as those people. But I'm also made of the same stuff that those who are suffering are made of. I'm made of the same stuff as, the victim in whatever circumstance is made of. And that puts things into perspective. And I think the only way by which we can show up properly, the only way by which we can embody love in a world that doesn't know love, the only way we can show up as kindness and mercy is if we are humble enough to understand and accept that we are made of the same stuff. We are all made of the same stuff. I don't think we can take a single step forward in any direction unless we recognize that we are all made of the same stuff. I've been thinking about this so much this past week. These past couple of weeks, actually. I just finished journaling about that right now. And it's making me want to take a moment of silence and just consider, This is what I can do. What I can do is speak from human to human on a repeated basis, on a regular basis, whether that is through writing, through creating videos, through having conversations. This is the best that I can do right now, given the fact that, I'm not a politician and I'm not somebody of, any significant influence in this world, but I can try to leave a mark, whatever mark that is, and week after week, so long as I'm a human being, I can just show up by loving my fate, being thankful for my fate that has made it so that I'm not worried for my life. I'm not scared for my life currently. And in loving that fate, I can make something of my life and bring it to the world in a way that is meaningful, and a way that puts things into perspective. So yeah, I just think we can all chew on that for a little bit, this idea that we're all made of the same stuff. We're all made of the exact same stuff. Let me read you one of my favorite poems by Maya Angelou, which I think is right on the money in the days that we're living right now. It's called And Still I Rise, or Still I Rise by Maya Angelou. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tides, just like hopes springing high, still I rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes? Shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard, 'cause I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I'll rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean, leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Breaking the gifts that my ancestors gave, I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise.